On one side, the voice of cosmic love, Rumi. On the other, the prophet of human will, Friedrich Nietzsche.
Look at this world, Rumi. It is overflowing with tragedy. The weak seek comfort in fairy tales about the sky, but the strong look into the abyss and do not blink. Existence is suffering. There is no escaping it, and no one is coming to save us.
You stare so deeply into the darkness, my friend, that you ignore the dawn that always follows. Yes, there is pain, I do not deny it. But the wound is the place where the light enters you. You must break to become whole.
A poetic delusion. That is merely a mechanism to tolerate weakness. I teach Amor, Fati. Love your fate. Do not just bear the suffering like a donkey carrying a load. Embrace it. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering within yourself, not outside.
But what is that meaning if it ends with your own ego? The reed flute cries, not because it is in physical pain, but because it has been cut from the reed bed. Our pain is the cry of separation from our source. We are not empty, Friedrich. We are simply homesick.
Homesick for a ghost. God is dead and we have killed him. We are alone in a cold, indifferent universe. There is no source to save us. We must become our own gods and forge our own values through the fire of hardship, without relying on ancient myths.
You try to drink the ocean with a teaspoon. You feel alone only because you have built a thick wall of self around your soul. Tear down this wall. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open?
Because outside that prison is chaos. The herd needs a shepherd to feel safe, but the free spirit needs no one. I do not seek peace or comfort. I seek war with my own limitations. That is the only way the Übermensch, the overman, is born.
The war you seek is indeed within, but you fight with anger, not love, and that will only leave you tired. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form. Your Übermensch is still a lost child if he does not know how to bow down to love.
You speak of a source, but look around. We have unchained this earth from its sun. We are moving away into an infinite nothingness. Do you not feel the breath of empty space? God is dead, Rumi. We have killed him with our science and our curiosity, and there is no blood to wipe off our knives.
You mourn a God created by your own mind, an idol made of fear and rules. That God surely dies. But the truth I speak of is not a king on a throne. It is the water in the river and the heat in the fire. You cannot kill life itself. You can only close your eyes to it.
Pretty metaphors, but they are dangerous shadows. When men believe in an invisible life behind this reality, they devalue the actual life here on earth. They wait for a paradise that never comes. I say we must remain faithful to the earth, not to the clouds.
Being faithful to the earth does not mean denying the sky. Imagine a group of men in a dark room touching an elephant. One touches the trunk and says it is a pipe. Another touches the ear and says it is a fan. You, Friedrich, touch the cold, hard matter of the world and say, this is all there is. Turn on the candle of spirit and you will see the whole beast.
I do not need a candle. I have the lightning of reason. Your mysticism is a fog that dulls the senses. You intoxicate yourself with poetry to forget the harsh truth that we are accidental biological creatures on a floating rock. There is no grand design, only the chaos we must tame.
Reason is powerless in the expression of love. Love is reckless, not reason. Reason seeks a profit. Love is strong and never needs a profit. You try to dissect a rose to find its beauty, but you only end up with torn petals. The beauty is not in the atoms, but in the soul that beholds it.
And I say that soul is just a spark of the body, a hierarchy of drives and instincts. We must stop looking for meaning out there in the divine. We must become gods ourselves. If there were gods, how could I bear not to be a god? That is the fire that drives me.
You seek to be a drop that refuses to fall into the ocean because it fears losing its shape. But listen to me. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Stop swimming against the current of grace. Let go, and you will find the power you seek.
Before we enter the final chapters, if you are enjoying this debate, please like and subscribe. It helps us bring more historical minds back to life.
You speak of letting go, but I see that as the ultimate sickness of mankind. Resignation. The herd wants to let go and be comfortable. But I teach the Übermensch, the overman, the one who overcomes his human nature, who creates new tables of values, and who molds his own destiny with an iron will.
And what happens when this overman reaches the top of his mountain? He finds he is terribly alone. Your path is one of endless climbing, Friedrich, always trying to be more than you are. My path is about realizing you are already everything, once you destroy the idol of the self.
Destroying the self is suicide. The self is all we have. It is the battlefield of our instincts, the will to power. We must strengthen this will, not dissolve it into some cosmic soup. The goal is not to become nothing. It is to become everything through mastery of reality.
You mistake the shadow for the bird. This will to power you worship is just the desperate clutching of a drowning man. Real power is not in controlling the waves. It is in becoming water. When you have no self left to defend, nothing can hurt you. That is true mastery.
That is the language of slaves. Slaves dream of a world where there are no masters, where everyone is dissolved into water. But history is driven by great individuals who dared to stand apart and say, I will. The world belongs to those who can endure the greatest tension without breaking.
Tension is for the strings of an instrument, not for the soul. The soul's nature is music, not tension. You are so busy forging a sword to fight the world that you have forgotten how to play the melody of existence. Your Übermensch is strong, yes, but is he happy? Or is he just a lonely king on a barren throne?
Happiness is for the mediocre. I do not desire happiness. I desire my work. The overman finds joy not in comfort, but in the tragic act of creation and destruction. He is like a laughing lion, not a peaceful sheep.
The lion that only knows how to roar will eventually lose his voice. The true lion is the one who can conquer his own anger and pride. Be like a melting snow, Friedrich. Wash yourself of yourself. Only then will you see that the king you seek is already seated on the throne of your heart.
You speak of love as the answer to everything, but I see it as the most dangerous trap, especially pity. It is a parasite that drains the life out of the strong to keep the weak alive. A creator must be hard. He cannot afford to waste his energy weeping for others.
You confuse the beggar's pleading with the king's generosity. True love is not pity, Friedrich. It is the gravity of the spirit. It is the force that keeps the stars in their orbits and the atoms in your body together. Without this gravity, your hard creator would crumble into dust.
Gravity is physics, not magic. We must strip away these romantic illusions. Love is often just a disguised will to possess, a biological trick to ensure reproduction. I want man to stand alone, cold and clear like a mountain peak, not entangled in the warm, sticky web of emotions.
A mountain peak is cold and barren. Nothing grows there. Life grows in the valleys where the water flows. You are terrified of love because it demands that you lose control. But tell me, is it not exhausting to hold up the sky of your own ego all by yourself?
It is a heavy burden, yes, but it is my burden. I would rather carry the weight of the world on my shoulders than bow down to an invisible master. I am dynamite. I break old structures so new ones can rise. Love is too often the glue that keeps broken things together when they should fall apart.
You are indeed dynamite, my friend. You have exploded the prisons of the mind for many. But look at the rubble you are left with. Even dynamite needs a spark to ignite. That spark is love. Without it, you are just powder in the dark.
Perhaps the cold is getting to me. I have spent a lifetime shouting at mountains, and they only echo my own voice back. Maybe the Übermensch is not the one who conquers the world, but the one who can conquer his own solitude without going mad.
The cure for the pain is in the pain. You ran from love to find truth, only to find that truth is love. Do not fear the horse that falls in the street, Friedrich. Embrace it. Your tears are not a weakness. They are the first rain of your spring. Come, let yourself melt.
Whose path resonates with you? Let us know in the comments who won this debate. Who should face each other next? Marcus Aurelius versus Machiavelli? Or maybe Plato versus Socrates? Also, check out this video on Plato versus Nietzsche appearing on your screen now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more clashes of history. Goodbye.